So we didn't quite get the big showdown between Raizo and Rascaria that a lot of fans were hoping for. What's up, y'all? It's your man, That Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so if you like Noblesse, I review every episode, and I'll talk about other anime too. So go hit that button. Season 1 of Noblesse has come to an end, and it was a bit anticlimactic. I do have some worries about where this season leaves the story going forward. I'm not saying I wanted the season to end on a cliffhanger or anything like that, but we should have gotten something of intrigue to give us like something to look forward to going into the next season. With Raizo clearing his name with the nobles and everything in Lucadonia seemingly being resolved, what is there of intrigue for us to look forward to in the next season? I think we should have gotten a small scene or a nugget of something involving the Union, the original bad guy of Noblesse when the season first started up. Should have given us something involving the Union, like a small scene in this last episode, to then give us something to look forward to or to expect in the next season. Because we still don't know shit about the Union, and you would think, considering that the Union started out as the big bad of Noblesse, that we would know more about the organization and what its goals are, but we don't. We don't know who the leader of the Union is, if it has a single leader, or if it's like a company, or how it's structured. We don't know where the Union is based. We know that the Union is aware of nobles in some sense and is trying to synthesize the abilities that nobles have. But beyond that, what do we know about them? And it's not a lot. That is why we should have gotten a small scene of maybe what the noble was planning for, like trying to capture Raizo, or maybe trying to recapture Takeo, Tao, or M21 or something like that. Just a small scene of what the noble is maybe planning going forward. It would then give us an idea of what to expect in Noblesse going forward. But without that, in the way the season ended, what is there for us to have an idea of what's to come in season 2? If we get a season 2, but I believe we are. I think I saw that season 2 has already been announced. But we have no idea what that's going to bring to us. We don't know we just don't have any idea of what's to come in season 2. And I think a proper way of storytelling is to give you a small inkling of what can come next, so you at least have an idea of what to expect, so you're not going into the next season blind. Alright, so about that fight between Raizo and Rascaria, if you can even really call it a fight, because Raizo wasn't trying to really hurt anyone. It never really felt like Gedgetel was in danger of being actually put to sleep, and it just wasn't the big confrontation and battle that I was hoping for, and I think a lot of other fans of Noblesse were hoping for as well. This just wasn't it. There was never a sense of urgency or desperation, so you never really felt that there were real stakes to the battle. And I largely put that on Raizo, because Raizo came into the fight not trying to hurt anyone. He had every opportunity to actually inflict damage on the people who he were fighting against, and he chose not to. And so that sets the tone from there on out that this fight isn't really going anywhere. No one's going to be hurt. No one's going to die. Nothing of consequence is really going to happen besides, him bringing out the other sword and Rascaria getting to see that implanted memory or whatever of her father for a few minutes. But in regards to the actual fight, nothing really happened. Now, that moment with Rascaria and the image or memory of her father, that was very touching, and I liked that scene. It was very heartwarming and all that. But that's not what we came into this episode for. We did not come into this episode of Noblesse to see Rascaria get some kind of closure with her father and that kind of stuff. No, we came into this episode to see the final showdown between Raizo and Rascaria, however you say her name. That's what we came into this episode for, and we didn't get that. So yeah, it was a huge letdown. Does that very anticlimactic fight between Raizo and Rascaria ruin this episode? I'm gonna say no, and that's because we still got to see a bunch of likable characters. When I say likable characters, I primarily mean Frankenstein, M21, Takeo, Tao, and Gedgetel. I really like Gedgetel as a character. I primarily mean them, but we got to see likable characters get a happy ending, and for me, that pretty much is always a pretty good formula. Now, don't get me wrong, this episode definitely wasn't as good as it could have been, but I ultimately enjoyed it. Like I said, I like seeing characters I like get a happy ending. So for me, that was good enough. Wasn't great, but good enough. Alright guys, that's all I have for you on this one. If you like this video, go hit that thumbs up. And if you are so inclined, subscribe and share. It would help me out a lot. If you didn't like the video, or if you have thoughts on the way you thought the season should have ended, hit me up in the comments. We can talk about it. I respond to almost everything. I'll see you guys in the next one.